This is my final presentation. For the purposes of the demo, the player is going to have a lot more health than they usually have, and they're also going to run twice as fast. They usually start with 100 health. If it drops 2 or below 0, then they'll die. The 3 different weapons that they have are based on the strategy pattern, and they have the same base class, but with the different behaviors, they're separate classes. The first one is the fire weapon, which you can spam a lot, and it does a little bit of damage. The second attack is the ice attack, which slows enemies, does a little bit of damage, but it has a longer cooldown, so you can't use it very often. The third attack, it does a lot more damage, and it hits every enemy on the screen, but it has a very long cooldown, so you can't use it very often. The enemies use the state design pattern. The first state that you won't be able to see is the waiting state, which is when they're off screen, they won't run at all. When they get on screen, they'll run toward the player, and that's the attacking state. And once I do enough damage to kill them, they'll enter the dying state, where they play their dying animation, and finally they'll enter the dead state, where they stop being rendered on the screen. There are 3 different enemy types. You just saw the zombie. He's really slow, he doesn't climb very well, and he's pretty easy to get around. The next enemy type is the demon. He's really fast, he climbs really well, and he jumps around a lot, and he's harder to get away from. And here's his dying animation. And the last enemy is the ghost, which he flies around on the screen. He doesn't collide with blocks, so he can follow the player around wherever, and that's his dying animation. To beat the level, you need to get to the goal at the end. The goal is the sword in the ground, and when you touch the goal, you will get the "You win" screen and be able to return to the menu. This is the same screen that happens when you die, except for it says you died. Then when you get to the second level, it's a little bit harder. It's got platforming in it, and you can see that here. It's if you try to get across these platforms, if you fall, you'll enter a spot where you can't continue going right. You'll have to go back and climb back up to go left. The extra thing that I added to this game, and really the whole thing that's based on, is the fact that it's a side-scroller instead of the static image that we had for the projects in class. The map is rendered from an image file where each pixel represents a tile, and then the player's position, the enemy positions, and the goal position are rendered from a different image file that's the same size. And the other things that I've added is the animations for all the sprites, the running animations and the dying animations, and all that stuff. And I believe that's all I have to show you, so thank you for watching.